Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Chat on the Lost Limbs Foundation Radio. I don't know what we call this radio, but it's all right. Whatever it is, what we're talking on. So it's your fault. You're the one. It's all your fault. I think you muted your mic or something there, Mike. Let me. I guess you don't want to talk to us tonight. Let's see.
How's that?
There you go.
Can you,
Yeah, I can
okay.
hear you now. You
I
had your
don't know
mic
what
muted.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't mute it. I don't. It might have been. I was having technical difficulties with the AirPods. Maybe like when I was kind of going back and forth with those, it muted me out. Oops.
Yeah, something like that. So
how's Robin?
Exciting over at Rhodes. Oh, I'm doing okay.
Good.
I'm,
good.
Yeah, hanging in there, getting busy.
Good. So. Good deal. Yeah. It's been a busy weekend here. You had a busy weekend too, right? You had that event. You were with the Klings over the weekend, right?
Yep. What's up with Brad and Barry in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin? Aaron Houdini was up there, and it was a long drive up there. And,
yeah.
But yeah, the kids had a good time with it. We had the van out there, and so they had fun with it. So it worked out pretty well.
That's good. Isn't that like the butter place?
You know, I thought so too, but I couldn't find anything around there. But it's kind of weird though. You could stand inside the one gas station, get gas, and if you straddle the line, you're in Wisconsin and Michigan.
Really?
Yeah. So it's right. I mean, when you pulled into Land O'Lakes up there at the resort I was at, if I'd have gone forward about another 50 feet, I'd have been in
Michigan. Kind of mess with people. They're like, "Where you at?" I'm in Michigan now.
Yeah.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah, back and forth there. And if you go a few miles farther, you can be in Canada.
Oh, yeah. So you're way up there then.
So yeah, it was as far as as far north of Wisconsin as you could go. So
yeah. So it was a good weekend then?
Yeah, we had a good time up there. And it's a little different up there because the people there are not around the paranormal stuff that much where they're at this town. And so when you come in, they're kind of like, whoa, wow, you guys are going to find ghost forests and all. And finally, Brad and Barry like, it doesn't quite work like that. So,
yeah. Well, that's good. It's a good weekend.
Here's what's really kind of cool. Then I can shut up about it. I don't have to talk about it anymore.
Oh yeah, the 10,000 likes thing.
Yep, hit the 10,000 likes on Ashmore State's page. So this December, when we're doing the raffles and the drawings and everything, at the end of it, we'll add an extra $1,000 to it. So thank you for everybody that went and liked the page and got that done. And so it's an extra $1,000 coming to Lost Limbs Foundation this December when I do my birthday fundraiser.
Yes, thank you guys. It's awesome. That's really cool. You hit 10,000, and really cool that you're doing what you're doing with that $1,000 and stuff going to the charity to help. Plus, on top of what you do with the birthday deal that you do every year. So this is is this the third one or the fourth one?
No, it's been. It's probably
you've done this a few years.
One. Yeah, it's been a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the fourth, maybe even longer than that. But yeah, I noticed I just had something that I came across the other day that said that there was did 8,000 last year, something like that.
That's crazy.
The total was so yeah. So hopefully it'll go crazy with it this year, and we'll get close to that again. So we'll see.
I think people don't realize the impact that just doing those birthday things, for charities and stuff like that. Not just like Lost Limbs Foundation, but just in general. I mean, just helping charities and stuff. I mean, that I don't think a lot of people realize by just picking a charity like that to help, how much they can help them.
Oh yeah, it does. And just like with Sean Porter had mentioned when we were talking at the Scarefest with the Amazon, Amazon, you go to, you have to go to Amazon Smile or Smile Amazon, whichever way it is.
Yeah, Amazon.
You could pick a charity there, and Lost Limbs is the one that I've got set up, and he's now done the same thing.
Yep.
And a percentage, I want to say it's 2-3% or so. I forget what it is, and whatever the purchases you make goes towards, goes to the charity.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it definitely helps for sure.
Yep. So it can help a bunch, and like I've always said, I have to get my spoon out.
Yes.
A lot of teaspoons fill the bathtub.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sherry Broach. Said to say keep that stays on my desk all the time. So
yeah. Yep. And it's the exact truth. I mean, it does. It helps tremendously.
Anything exciting going on at Rhodes?
It's been a busy weekend. I mean, we had like 24 hours that was booked on Saturday, and then Sunday night, which was Halloween, we had another overnight group that was here. So it was a busy weekend. So, and the first weekend being home for a couple weekends since we've had events and stuff going on.
Yeah, I get to enjoy one of those this weekend, and you and I are headed to Michigan to Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Yeah,
a week from this weekend.
yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a good one. I like going to that one. It's pretty cool.
So, yeah, in fact, I've been watching a little bit of Disney Plus. I picked that up for some reason just to try something, and I've been watching the Mighty Duck stuff on there. And,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, the one coach that's on there is going to actually be up there. So now at least there's somebody there
really?
that I can talk to up there. Not Gordon Bombay, but the other guy that was coaching there. I think it's the Challenge, or the Mighty Ducks Challenge or something like that. So,
cool.
But yeah, he'll be up that way. So that'd be kind of fun to maybe talk to him a little bit.
They rebooted that Mighty Ducks, didn't they?
Yeah, this is actually they had a season. They just started a season in March, and they've got season 2 of this is going to come out in probably July or August of next year. They're starting to film, I guess, in February.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I remember the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, I think they've got like 3 of them out, and then they've started this new season, series that they're doing. So
yeah.
So we'll see. Some of the whole series are coming back.
Good deal. Yeah, sounds good. I'll check it out.
Since he's here with us, I suppose we should, we can bring him in and get things going and see what Johnny has to say out there. But
yeah, let's bring him in.
So here comes. There he is, Mr. Johnny Hauser.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How about
Going great. How are you doing?
Good. You two are probably 2 of my favorite people in this whole paranormal, or in the world anyway. I mean, you guys are
wow.
The 2 of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. So when you got a hold of me, I'm like, absolutely, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wanted you to come on. I mean, you're a friend, and we wanted you to come on and get you on here and talk about some stuff you got going on, Villisca, and then talk about the crazy Spartan beast.
Talk about sleeping on the couch outside of Ashmore in the cabins, the John Wayne Gacy couch.
See, we got plenty to talk about.
That was one of my favorite moments. We were doing a Nick Groff tour,
right?
And I crashed in the cabins, and oh man, I slept good. And then Robin, you're telling me that that couch belonged to John Gacy's attorney. Is that correct?
Right. Yep. Yeah, she owned that couch, and I bought it from her when she was. It's at the same time I bought the armoire that has been carrying around some John Gacy energy with it.
So all I could think is my head was just sleeping and probably drooling right where John Gacy's butt had sat, possibly. That was good times.
I think you're kind of lucky there, because she had that at her second home down not too far from me. So I don't think he ever made it there. He never got out of prison long enough. But she probably had the paintings that he did for us sitting on that couch at one time.
Oh man, I'll probably still tell people that's the story.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, go with it.
It's a good story. It's a good one to share. Yeah.
That was a comfortable couch, though. It was comfortable.
It's a pull-out too. You could have got really comfy.
Now I know it's a pull-out.
A little late, but
oh well. It was all good, and I really appreciate you doing that for the Nick Groff tour, and Mike, the beast. Now that I'm kind of putting this together, Nick seems to be the catalyst that gets me on all these situations.
Yeah. I hear you. The Unlimited Journey thing. When we drug you in on this, there's times like he would tell me ideas, and I'm like, wait, you do realize my situation, right? The one leg, and because I mean, like some of the stuff let's do this, and I'm like, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. He called me on Friday. He's like, hey, we're going to do the Spartan Beast race. It's 30 miles, 500,000 obstacles, whatever. And I didn't call him back. I took the entire weekend to try and think of a way to get out of this. It's like, I can't run. Like, he's a freaking ninja warrior. I can't keep up with this dude. And Monday came and I could not think of one reason. So it's like, well, it's a great cause, so I have to do this. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, same here. But I mean, it was, I mean, Robin, like if you could have been there just to like to set the story up for this, we get there and this is North Carolina, right? When we did this, it's like 50 degrees, if that, pouring down rain. It's so muddy that like my crutches were sticking in the mud. And when I would take a step, every time I would pull my heel up to take another step, the shoe would try to slide off. Like it would try to come off. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then, so, I mean, that's like kind of setting, you know, everything up for how it was, like, you know, with just doing it that day. But then on top of it, you know, I mean, I was sick and like, I'm really curious. Like, I would like to hear your side, like on kind of walking through all this, because I wasn't even there the whole time because where I was sick and then I left and all that stuff. But I'm just kind of curious what was going on in your mind and like how the race went and how it was for you.
Oh man, it was so cold and rainy. And it was that North Carolina clay. It's like a wet clay mud, which we don't have here. Like I was telling Jeff Waldridge, it's like it's impossible to even train for this. You have no idea what to expect. And I didn't sleep for nothing the night before. And I had a little horrible muffin from the hotel lobby that tasted like garbage, just for like some kind of carbs or something. I didn't want to do it. It's like, oh, this is going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. And they get us in a little cattle chute thing and they do the Spartan chant. And something clicked in my head. I just started dying laughing. I was like just punching Nick in the arm as hard as I could. And I couldn't stop laughing. And it was probably the greatest time I've had in a long time. As weird as that sounds, like it sucked, but everybody was in the suck. You know what I mean? Like everybody was experiencing it and we all just helped each other along. And the big problem that I had, I think I made it to 7 or 8 or something like that. I had a backpack on, a camelback with so we could hydrate, and we put all kinds of amino acids and everything in it. Well, instantly that hose gets so clogged up with mud that it was useless. You're not getting any liquids out of it. And they'd give you these little like shot glasses. They're in those cups like the dentist used to give you those in school when you do fluoride in school. Yeah. The little paper cups that are like that big of pickle juice. And it's
like shot glasses.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, I did like 3 of those and my muscles just started seizing up and stuff. But I still talk about it. You know, Nick's like, yeah, let's do another one. I'm like, do we have to do, because they have different levels of Spartan. Do we have to do the hardest level there is, Nick? Can we start with just the Spartan race that's like 3 miles, work our way up to the 3,000 mile one? You know? And I felt like I was holding Nick back a little bit because he was wanting to go, and I'm like, I can't keep your pace. You know, like we're 2 totally different runners, and go Nick, do your thing.
Yeah, he's not going to do the bunny hills.
No, no. I think me and Jeff Waldridge they had that little kitty for like the 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
That would have been, you know, the camera could have got some like shots to make it look like it's better than what it was. But I had to laugh at Jeff. I mean, he couldn't keep going on because it's like straight up and straight down hills, and he's got a camera, and he just couldn't do it. And he's got this big brown rain suit on. And by the time I see him, his rain suit's completely ripped all over the place. He's covered in mud, just looking like he's hating life. It was great.
So you got to that point, like, I mean, I know it's tough. Like, I just watching the episode and watching you guys do there's no way I would have been able to do it.
No.
I mean, like, I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway, but with the rain and the mud, I'd like, yeah, even if I was feeling well, I probably, when I got there, it probably would have been, yeah, I can't do it.
No, I mean, even so, when you take off, you had that straight ledge that we could see, and then it curves around and it's straight down drop. And you're supposed to kind of slide in the dirt, but it was so muddy and so wet. I started sort of inching. Instantly, I lost control, and I would just scream, "Coming in hot!" You know, and it's like a bowling ball. I slide down, and there's like 10 people there, and they just scatter. I mean, I could barely do it. You know, doing it with crutches, impossible. I mean, it was just, the hills were just too much, too muddy. If it wasn't so muddy, maybe it could have been done for sure. But
yeah,
like you say, I mean, your crutches were sticking in that clay, and your shoes coming off, and it was just miserable.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad that you did that with us. I mean, it was cool, you know. I mean, because like doing this series it's personal for me, you know, and not only that, I mean, it's helping us like put the charity out there more and stuff too. So it means a lot that you did that.
Yeah, and you know, I was scared to death like right before. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. It's like, man, this is because I had lost a whole bunch of weight and got in shape and really trained a lot, but this is the first time I ever done anything like this, and it's the beast, you know. It's not like a walk in the park. They call it the beast for a reason, for sure. And to try and keep up with Nick Groff, Ninja Warrior, come on, you know.
Yeah. Well, you did great. I mean, you know, as far as you made it, you did great. I mean, especially considering the fact, like you said, you haven't done this before, you know, but you did an awesome job with it.
Well, appreciate it. And you know, this is how bad it was. So they gave you these wristbands for free beer. I didn't even go get my free beer. I was just ready to go. Like, you know, it's bad when I didn't even go get the free beer.
You could lose your man card for that, you know.
I know. I should shave the beard, honestly. Like, I do not deserve this.
And then the night before, we had these guys running down the hallways. Like, him and Nick were just like literally running. They were those people that the people underneath, like on the floor under there's like, what's going on up there?
Yeah, man, it was a good time, and I'm glad that it was turned into a show, and you can watch it on Amazon, and like I can relive it and laugh about it now. But I mean, as bad as it was so much fun and so rewarding.
We'll have to do another one sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe, like you said, maybe not the Beast. Maybe like the Beast Junior or something. Get Robin
Me
out
and I'll hang out with the Shreks and hang out with them, and you know.
Yeah.
Well, Nick was wanting to do one like a swimming challenge.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll sit on the beach and wait for you guys. You know,
that's supposed to be next.
I'll row the boat that Jeff is sitting in with the camera. I'll watch you guys do it. I'll cheer you on, but when it comes to swimming, man, if you get wore out, there's no tapping out. Like, there's nowhere to go. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Right, for sure.
We got to get Robin out there to come like watch all the excitement sometime.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's I was going to come out to North Carolina, but it just the weather was so bad and everything. I decided just like, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out. And I don't think I was feeling too great. You were feeling horrible, and I wasn't feeling, you know, too good myself. So yeah, I'll just stay home.
Robin was the only smart one that avoided that crazy rain and mud.
It comes with age.
Right. I'm pretty sure about all of us had hypothermia because, I mean, hours had gone by and we're in the hotel and I still couldn't stop like shaking and shivering until I got in the shower and just like sat in the hot shower for an hour and then I was fine. But yeah, wasn't good. And then when I got back, my ankles were swelling up, my legs were swelling up and all this stuff. And I go to the doctor, it's like, oh yeah, it's just from what you did, you know. And he's like, you don't need to be doing that stuff. Like, do you realize how hard that is on a person's body to be doing that stuff? I was like, yeah, I get it, doc.
So
Getting old.
So maybe the beast won't be an option next time. Yeah, we'll have to find something else.
The Spartan kids one. I'll do that. I'll be pushing little kids out of my way and
yeah.
Just go for a nice long motorcycle ride someplace, you know, and that would work.
Now you're talking my language.
As long as I have 3 wheels, I'm good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Get the trike out.
Yeah.
Yep. Lost Limbs poker run.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot better to me.
Yeah. We wouldn't have near as many challenges we'd have to worry about.
There you go. Nick will show up on like the fastest motorcycle anyone can possibly buy, and he'll be going 300 mile an hour riding a wheelie, you know.
Yep.
Backwards.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing this in reverse. Yeah, I see that. Yep. But
we just how's Ashmore been this year? We just finished up at the Axe House, and I am glad.
It's been going well. Yeah, we've been busy pretty much every weekend. We don't do a lot. We're not Waverly Hills. We don't rent it out Monday through Sunday every week for 8 months straight. But we usually Saturdays and Sundays or Fridays and Saturdays, and then sometimes during the week. It keeps busy. So yeah, it's worked out pretty well, and
nice.
We can't complain. And we've still got some investigations coming up. We've got people that I try to talk them out of it and tell them, hey, there's no heat. It's going to be cold. You're not going to want to do this and everything. And they're like, oh no, it's always best in the cold. We can handle the cold. I'm like, okay. So,
sure.
But yeah, in fact, I had somebody here in the chat that mentioned he had experience at Ashmore.
The old shadow at the Ashmore Estates.
When you were out there with Nick, this is on the second floor, but we've seen that before at that end. But on the third floor, you got punched in the back or pushed in the back or something. I remember up there.
Yeah. We were just, I think Jennifer Kirkland and Jeff possibly were seeing the shadow down the hall. And I think I remember just kind of looking down there and
something kind of pushed in the back or did something near at that end.
Yeah, and then of course the tricycle video.
Yeah,
I mean that was pretty cool.
Of course, I think the best part of that out there was with Jeff and Jennifer were laying on the floor. Trying to stay. There was a bat flying around in there. And they were like, "Oh my God, bat's gonna get us! Bat's gonna get us!" They were sucking the floor, trying to get out of the way.
I never laughed so hard in my life. I just hear Jeff, "Take me to Vietnam and lock me up in the jail. Get me out of here." I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, "There's bats. It's Ozzy Osbourne." Bats just dive bombing Jeff. Oh, that was so much fun.
That was pretty funny. I think you kind of answered this.
Yeah, Greg. Yes, I need to talk to Greg. Villisca day tours ended Sunday, and so they start from March to November 1st, which I've been there 7 days a week since March. I mean, it's just been crazy summer. I have so much stuff to catch up on. That's all I've been doing. It's just been all consuming over there. And by the time you get off work, we're doing like 130, 120 a day for day tours. And it's just like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to look at my phone. I just throw my phone and I'll go to bed, and then I wake up, do it again. And vicious cycle. As far as overnights are all year round, 7 days a week. It's just constant. So I'm glad to have a little bit of a break and catch up on messages and emails and everything else. Now I can kind of focus a little bit.
So you did the overnights, then the winter months also.
Yep. Yeah, we have little air conditioner units that also work as heaters. And it's just a little 2-story house, and it's like hotel grade heaters. And we have it run from a pole. We dug a electric line into the ground with a little tiny pole with the plug-ins on it. So the units are in the wall, but they're plugged in outside. So there's still no technically electricity in the house, but it keeps it pretty regulated with the air and warmth. And I mean, we had to do something. It was just too hot during the summer, too cold during the winter. Damage is starting to happen. And keep it temperature regulated has done a lot for the wear in the house. Like it's good now, And I have a lot of repairs at the house I need to do. It's just nonstop.
Yeah, it's I'm sure it's hectic having 7 days a week. I mean, having to do stuff. I mean, because you're the only one handling all that stuff out there, aren't you?
Yep, I'm the guy. So if I'm not there, it's not open. I was going to go to Sturgis this year and do this and do that, and nope, everything got put on the side burner, which is good. I mean, it's my job, kind of got to be there. But I think maybe next year I'll have somebody on the line so I can have some days off. That's kind of my plan, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be good to get you a little break here and there to kind of rest and kind of catch up and all that. Yeah.
Right.
And you said you were like during the day you were having like over 100. What did you say? Like 120 people coming in and
120, 130. Yeah. And it kind of cracks me up because, during a Saturday or Sunday on Halloween, like, oh, there's a lot of people here. It must be Halloween. I'm like, it's this way on June 15th, a Tuesday. I would come to work and think, oh, I'm going to relax and get some paperwork done. Parking lot's full like half hour before we open. I'm like, people have jobs? It's Tuesday. Like, what is happening? But we get a lot of vacationers coming through, and it'll stay busy until September. September is kind of quiet because everybody's just over traveling and school starts again, and then October comes. That's the Halloween crowd, which is a whole different animal. It's like interesting people.
Yeah, we see interesting ones here and there, don't we, Robin?
Oh yeah. We try to keep some of those away if we can, but yeah, usually the alcohol-induced ones show up those time of the day.
Yeah, the ones that just, oh, it's Halloween, this is a spook house, and blah blah blah. Show up drunk. I've had people get out of their vehicle with a beer in their hand, going, "Oh, that was a long drive." I'm like, what? Wow. Okay, so I had a lady a couple weeks ago that said she could explode light bulbs with her mind. So I offered her $50 if she could do it. Like, I will pay you. This 50 is yours if you can make that light bulb explode. I have to see this. And she sat there for about 10 minutes. Going, it's like,
But I can't do GE. I only do Phillips. I'm sorry.
I can't do LEDs.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's those kind of people make my day better. Just because I can that was an interesting day.
That's funny. My next level is the LEDs. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Right.
Do you experience a lot of stuff personally inside the house?
Quite a bit. And I mean, you probably get this with your location. Like, can you go in and can you make something happen? Can you go up to the third floor and make them do something? Like, what? Okay, how does that work? But it's like there's that period after the day tours, right before the overnights, where it's like you had a rush of people. They're gone. It's quiet, and that's usually when the most stuff happens. Like right when everybody leaves. I've never seen a ghost. I've seen the shadow figure. We've had profiling forensics groups catch it on video. Objects move, chairs rock, seen every door open and slam on non-windy days. I get wind and how that works, The big one for me with the house is the vibe. I mean, it has a very Amityville mental manipulation type thing happening with it. And I've experienced that so many times in the house, where you just go in and it just bad something. Or you walk and all of a sudden be hit with extreme sadness. There was one Sunday, I went up, made the bed, getting ready for day tours. I walked past the attic and I just was hit with this sadness. And like I started tearing up a little bit. I'm like, man, it's noon on Sunday. Like, get a hold of yourself, Walk outside, I'm fine. I go right back up to that same spot. Nothing. And I watch day tours go through there. Oh, I was upstairs and I can just finish what they're going to say. Dizzy feeling, felt like you're in a fun house, neck hurt, back hurt, headache. It's the same thing. But the house is doing weird stuff now. We had a guy from Texas. He got 2 EVPs. The first one, he wouldn't tell me what it was. He said it's extremely personal to where he had to leave and like collect himself and then come back. The other one was a woman saying a woman's voice. And I was like, that doesn't ring a bell historically. He's like, no, that was my girlfriend's name 33 years ago in Texas. I'm like, wow. House is on X Games mode now. Like, what is happening to where? And then about a week later, a couple guys from Maryland got the same thing. An EVP of a name from their past that was very significant. It's like, why is the house doing this now? It's interesting.
You guys had a experience there. I think that Brad Kling was up there one time, and somebody caught an EVP that sounded like it might have been Brad. I think that was Villisca.
Yeah, I think that
they caught the market.
Yeah, right. I forgot all about that. And I thought their episode on Ghost Lab at the Axe House was one of the best, like as far as evidence, catching the high spikes of EMF coming from the closet to this bed, to this bed, to this bed, down the steps to Ina and Lena's room, gone, like the path that the killer could have taken. I mean, that was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and that's still out. You can watch those episodes on Discovery Plus too. The Ghost Lab's out there, so if you wants to see the episode that those guys did, it's available still.
It's about a year or two after I flew down to Texas, San Antonio, and stayed at Barry's house. Stayed in his little boy's bedroom for like 2 weeks. So I mean, for them to put me up and move their little boy, there he is.
Yeah,
was just pretty phenomenal. And man, we did some investigations down in Texas that were unreal. I'll never forget walking into the first location with Brad and Barry. Like, okay, I gotta kind of get on my A game here a little bit. Brad and Barry Kling, this is awesome. And I go to throw out is anyone here? Can you give us a sign? And by the time I get out, is there? Brad is just, all right, listen. And it scared the crap out of me. I was like, wow. Wow, that's but we got this EVP in Helena, Texas, I believe it was. And we're at this old ghost house. And it's me and Brad and Barry, nobody else. And this EVP was a little girl that goes, all this yelling makes me want to scream. Just like that. I was like, wow. clear as day. There are no females here whatsoever. I mean, those guys get it going for sure. And if you're a ghost just chilling in your house and Brad and Mary come busting through the door, and like, you're gonna be like, "What? Oh, what's happening?"
They have a tendency to wake the dead.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I told him I wanted to be an honorary Texan, so we went to Whataburger, had some Lone Star, went and stopped and seen the was it the blue bonnets, the blue flowers out there in Texas. So they made me an honorary Texan while I was down there. It was a lot of fun. But I think about that all the time. Yes. Oh yeah, they ordered me a burrito of some sort that ended up being shredded cow tongue. And they wouldn't tell me what it was till after I ate it. Oh, it's just shredded pork. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. And they're like, hey, that's tongue. I'm like, yeah, gross.
You might not have as much. Yes, you might not have as much trust the next time then around, right?
But I mean, for those guys to like move, Barry to move his little boy out of the room and give me their boy's room for that long and just gave me the keys to his truck. Yeah, I was running around, whatever. It's like, that's pretty cool. Good people.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I had a chance to spend some time down in San Antonio with Brad before they came up here and did the John Wayne Gacy deal at the theater. And so, yeah, they're good guys. I talked to Barry every once in a while and Brad at the same time. So, in fact, I enjoyed their podcast. They just started that this weekend out there on Everyday Paranormal. And
nice.
I'm sure they're probably going to do one on the Villisca Ax Murder House, I imagine.
I would like to get those two back down to the house because I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of shows there, but I don't think they're even scratching the surface of what's happening. They kind of get just like an EVP or a door shutting or a footstep. Oh yeah, we got evidence this place is cool, but I don't think there's any real shows. Yeah, let's do it, Barry. I don't think any shows have really just cracked that place open. I think there's a lot left to be found for sure. I mean, so I'd love to have them come back down. They were like one of the first to investigate that place.
If they come up and they need some equipment, they can just give me a buzz, and I can load the trailer up, and or I can bring the ambulance out back that has Ghost Lab license plates on it, and head on up to Iowa.
The coolest thing, and talk about Texas swag, like these guys show up to Villisca. They got a guy driving a truck with a pull behind barbecue grill. And that dude's job was just a barbecue. And I was like, these guys are the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. And I'd opened up, I talked to the producer before. I was like, man, it is hot out. Like, there's no air conditioning in the Hack's house. Like, the guys, because I live right next door. It's like, the guys want to, go over to my house or whatever and chill out in the air conditioning, grab something to drink, watch TV, go for it. And I walk in my house, and I think this is the first time I ever met them. Brad and Barry are sitting on my couch. It's a pretty big couch. And those two, there wasn't any room for anyone else to sit, And I kind of walk in, I'm like, hey. And they're just like, so. And I was like, oh, crap. Am I going to get my butt kicked in my own house here? Like, John, this is my house. And they're like, oh, cool, man. Cool. So,
it would be cool to see like a show go out there and maybe spend more time. Like you said, we're just scratching the surface with things. I mean, because, just like Robin at Ashmore or at the theater and like you there and me here at Rhodes and stuff. We see and like we learn so much more because we're here at these places all the time versus somebody coming in and getting to spend 2 or 3 nights or something. So there's a lot more of that can be learned. I mean, like with different things that if people would be able to spend more time in there, like what, I'm not like what we do. I mean, because we're here all the time, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I've easily done probably over 400 overnights alone at the Ax house, and every single night, totally different that I'd investigate. It's like I was at a different location. And one group, oh, we had a great experience with the kids. We felt one hug us, one rolled a ball. It was so enlightening. Like, that's funny because the last night's group was running out of there at 11 p.m. terrified, wouldn't even leave, go back in to get their gear. I got to mail it back to them. Like, how is this the same experience? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have people that come in here and like they'll say, doesn't this get old? No. We're like, why not? I'm like, because you don't know what to expect from 1 minute to the next.
And the big one for me, I remember what 9 to 5 was like. So yeah, telling the Ax house story does not get old at all. I will tell that another 20 years, you know. Although Sunday, like I say, Sunday was the last of our day tours. The very last tour I did Sunday, kind of feel bad for those guys because it's like, it's a place where bad things happen. Go on in. Have any questions, ask me. Like, I was just over it at that point. But
every once in a while, it's kind of nice for that one group to convince, hey, we've been here before. We don't need to do the tour or anything. We'll just go ahead and go ahead. And you're like, great.
Yeah, that is so great. And the kids, the two dudes from Maryland came down. They're like, don't tell us anything. We want to go in cold. I'm like, cool, here's the keys. See ya. Throw them in the mailbox when you're done. You know, like that was a great tour. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, which I love all the groups that come through. They're so much fun. But the ones that, you know, a lot of them are wanting to do a YouTube show or kind of edit their own stuff together and want kind of a walkthrough, and those end up being pretty long nights, you know. But then halfway through, I'm just like, okay, I kind of want to stay now and investigate a little bit. Like, I'm in the mood now.
You know, Charles asked a question on here too about the, you know, all the instances you put them all together to form a story, or they're not even related. And I think sometimes people bring their own paranormal with them, and they, you know, they come in there, something's coming with them, and it may not even be, you know, anything to do with the property. It may have something to do with whatever they brought with them. But you kind of notice that, or are things there, you know, does it kind of mesh when you're putting a whole story together, or does anybody ever came up with that?
One of the first things I noticed, everybody goes in there, everybody, tell me who did this with their digital recorder, looking for the name of the killer, and it's going to crack the case. Everybody gets different names, like day after day after day. And I never heard of half of these names. I don't know who that person is till I went back through some of the old archives and the old newspapers, and I started realizing these are all names of people that lived in Villisca in 1912. So unless you're like a super Villisca nerd like I am, you know, like nobody's going to know that stuff. So I thought, the house is just messing with people, you know. Tell me who did this, I command you, or what? Yeah, Bob Smith. There you go. Like it, but they're all people who had lived in town, which is super kind of creepy when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of it, none of it makes sense. I mean, like throwing out that guy's girlfriend 33 years ago. I think the house just is its own entity, like Rose Red, and just likes messing with people. And if you go in thinking you're going to be playing ball with a kid, that's what you're going to get. If you go in wanting to hit the hornet's nest with a baseball bat, that's what you're going to get. It's just kind of like, I'll be whatever you want me to be type of a deal. I've seen no. I've looked for patterns in birthdays, anniversaries, moon phases, storms, the eclipse. 20 years worth, yeah, but it just is totally random, totally sporadic.
Yeah, that's it. We've had people come up with me out at Ashmore all the time with names, and you know, if you heard this name or that name, I'm like, I don't know all the people that were in and out of this place. I know there's 200 people died, so there had to be thousands of people that went through it. So the name you got might be correct, but other than the ledgers that we were able to find, I have no idea if that name's in there.
Right. And I kind of feel like we're all on our own journey. Excuse me. My allergies are going crazy today. I feel like we're all on our own journey in this paranormal world. You know, I've been in locations with people I trust 100% with my life. They're having experiences. I'm right next to them. I'm not having anything happen. We did a deal with the Constantinos, 6 identical recorders in the house. Same make, same model, same settings, same batteries out of the same multi-pack. 3 of them would get EVPs where the others wouldn't. So it's almost like it can direct exactly who they want to communicate to. And if my buddy's having a experience at Farrar School in Iowa and I'm not, well, that's probably specific to his journey, if that makes any sense, and not specific to my journey. And I feel like that's kind of how a lot of this stuff maybe works. I mean, we don't know. We have a few gadgets that we think tell us a ghost is there, but do we really know? We don't have a clue what's happening.
Yeah.
I always tell people the only thing we know about the paranormal is we really don't know anything about the paranormal.
Exactly. And I love that fact. I love the fact that there's all kinds of weird people in these weird locations on weekends doing weird experiments. You know, my buddy John Tinney always talked about he doesn't want it to be a science because once it's a science, it's in a textbook, and then you have to follow a protocol, and it's going to be taught in a school. Yeah, that sounds like zero fun. But
yeah,
do we believe spirits require their own rest? I don't know. I have a lot of out of the box thinking as far as ghosts. Like, and I don't know anything, but I've never heard of spirits being trapped in buildings until Beetlejuice with the sandworm. You know, there was a building that had the roof taken off of it, and somebody's like, the spirits are all gone because the roof was lifted. It's like, well, why couldn't they just went out a door? You know, if they can't walk through barriers or walls, why do you see ghosts walking through a wall that never used to be there back then? If a ghost hung himself on the 3rd floor of a big building and that building's demolished, is that ghost now 40 feet in the air walking around haunting the sky? You know, do ghosts wear clothes? Do they have eardrums? How do they hear us talk? You know, do they have vocal cords? You know, can we think a question and get the response on EVP? These are what questions go through my head at the Ax Murder House day after day. So, do ghosts wear pants? Because if they do, you better really think about what outfits you wear every day, because you could be killed and that's your forever outfit. And you don't want to be wearing something stupid.
You know, and she mentioned something about the tourist at all. You know, I've seen people that posted stuff that they think that some of the places, like, you know, the 3 of us with Rose, you know, Villisca and Ashmore, are, you know, you're out there putting these guys out there, you're putting these ghosts out there, and there's spirits in that building. You're asking them to basically perform for people, and I don't think that that's it at all. We're not asking that at all. I think sometimes they just want to communicate to people, and it's probably kind of fun. I mean, you know, when you think about it, I would rather be sitting in a building having a good time with people who come in, scaring the shit out of them at times, and just joking around and leaving stupid comments than sit there and out there in the middle of a cemetery doing nothing but sitting there, just, you know, waiting whatever my afterlife time is.
And I guess I view the afterlife as being perfect. You're happy. I mean, what do you have to be not happy about? Bills? I mean, you know, like, probably don't sleep. You're probably not tired. You know, how would you get angry or tired at somebody asking you questions? If you don't want to answer, just don't answer. And I mean, today, this is my 2nd full day off from the Ax Murder House, and I sat in my house all day long, and I was so bored. Like, I could not wait to get on here. I'm just like, I could probably talk your ears off all night because this is the first human contact I've had all day. So, and I'm alive, so I don't know. I think we think of ghosts as what Hollywood portrays it in a way, being angry and mad and tired because somebody's in your house all the time. I mean, I don't know why would it matter? Like, I don't know. My daughter always talk, "Oh, Dad, get home. I heard a walking upstairs." I'm like, so what? Just a ghost. Big deal. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm rambling. Too much coffee.
I had someone come in here like not too long ago and asked me, they're like, so do you think once you're gone, you think you'll have your leg again? And I'm like, I would like to hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be perfection. Whatever we want to be. If we want to be young, we'd be young, just, maybe that's just my hope and my thoughts for it, but how bad would that suck if eternity of just being angry at people and that grumpy old man, get off my lawn, get out of my house, stupid college kids nosing around,
Meddling kids.
Sounds more like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Exactly.
Would have been fine if your kids wouldn't have been nosing around.
We've had people that have listened or given me EVPs that they've caught there at the building, and I had one that I remember that they were investigating, and it says, "Shut up, we're trying to sleep." And they had another one that came through where a girl was a little bit on the heavy side, and she went into the room. Somebody called her, just called her out on it and said, just that she was a little heavy and all, and made fun of her. And another girl that was up there one time, and I told her she's missing a leg, and I said, "Have you ever taken your prosthetic off and tried to do anything, ask EVP sessions?" And she's like, "No, why would I want to do that?" I'm like, "I just like doing things out of the box." And so she's like, "What should I do?" And I said, "Well, just pick a room and go up there and try it." So she went upstairs, and she came down. She was so excited because she let me listen to it. And there's a voice that comes through and says, "Hey, Stumpy." And so I think sometimes the spirits or ghosts in a building just like to have a good time with people.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would be doing. I would just be messing with people, having fun.
Yeah.
What else you got to do? Walk around banging chains, going,
Yeah. I mean, it's not Hollywood, like you said. And I think that they just have a good time and what they're doing in the building. And if they don't want to come out and talk to somebody, or if somebody's just there that doesn't, they're like, "I'm not talking to this idiot tonight." And so they just don't do it.
So when Darwin Lynn passed away, who bought the house, and I had worked for him for 10 years. Him and I were best friends. He's 80 some years old, but we were inseparable. And we both loved this house and loved what was happening. And when he passed away, I was pretty heartbroken over the whole thing. And I went up to the museum, and I seen his chair sitting there at his desk with his coat still on the back of it. I can't do it. And so that night, I don't know, just kind of had my pity party for myself and fell asleep. And I had a dream, and I'm not big into dreams or whatever, but this one stuck with me. It was him and Mary Peckham, which is the house that I live in. Mary Peckham was the lady that found the bodies next door. And he goes, "Hey, I had to come with Mary because I'm a new spirit and I don't know how to do this." And he goes, "You don't need to yell and do this in houses, and ghosts aren't mad. What do we have to be mad about? We're dead." And I woke up and I was just like, okay, that was a little too real. You know what I mean? And that message just, what do they have to be mad about? It really was like one of them eureka moments for me, because I would go in and just provoke and do whatever, and come on, give me do something. And then now I'm just like, Why would they be angry? One of my favorite investigators, he doesn't call himself an investigator. I went into Malvern Manor with him, and he sat down and he just started going, "Hey guys, I've had a really bad day. Can I tell you about my day? Have you had bad days? If it's okay, I'd like to tell you." And he just started talking. I'm like, that's so refreshing. Knock 3 times. How many people are in the room? It's like, oh my God.
How did you die?
Yeah.
And this guy just sat down and just started talking. And one of the groups I've seen get the most action out of the Axe House, they show up in June and they're wearing all like period clothing, wool pants and stuff. And I'm just looking at them walk across the yard. I'm like, are these ghosts? Are they real people? And they do living history reenactments, like Civil War reenactments and stuff. They were the overnights. They go, okay, load our gear in. It's like, yeah, house is yours. They start taking in banjo, a guitar, a fiddle. I'm just like, what are they doing? So I walk in there and they're just playing period music, like old bluegrass gospel. And they got that place lit up. They're like, yeah, everybody loves music. Thought we'd just come in as in outfits they recognize, play music they recognize, and that seemed to work pretty good. And I tried a little bit of that in Ohio State Reformatory. Is another Nick Groff tour. I was in a cell block by myself, and I was waiting for the next group to come, and I just start playing music just to entertain myself. So I throw on Ice Cube, and he's sitting there doing a song, and I'm like looking around. It's like, this is almost like a video, this gangster rap and these cell blocks and stuff like that. I shut it off. Instant bad vibe in that cell block. And the guy that works there comes down. He's like, what were you doing here? He could feel it too. It's like, I just played some music. He's like, what'd you play? He's like, Ice Cube. He goes, this was the Aryan Nation wing of the prison where the white supremacists were. Like, wow, okay. Glad I chose Ice Cube then.
Yeah, it's like Scott mentioned here that he's never had anything activity happen to him in Ashmore. I think just like you were just talking about, and I was going to mention you before you said that, is I think when you go back into a location, you need to do something different. If it wasn't work the first time, try something completely different than you did the first time around, because not always doesn't always work. I mean, we've had people play music at Ashmore before, and they've caught a lot of stuff and done some things and caught some stuff while they're doing that. But you just got to try things different. Just don't always do the same old routine like you see on TV and all.
Exactly. Just it's like fishing. Just keep throwing out different lures. Something's bound to bite. If not, try her another day.
And that's why I tell my wife I need all that equipment.
Right, exactly.
You never know what might work next.
You need a lot of lures in your tackle box.
That's right. And you never have too many.
Just because you don't catch anything doesn't mean there's no fish in the water. They just weren't biting. And either way, you had fun. It can be whatever age clothes or see. I choose to believe that too. Like, why couldn't they? I mean, we're not bound by earthly laws like we are now.
Yep. Hopefully that's the case, because I'm not doing any long pants when I'm dead either.
No. I mean, the fact that you're a ghost is pretty magical and mind-blowing itself. But the fact that you can't change clothes just doesn't add up with that. Just I don't know how to even word this. Like the magic, but you can't change clothes. I mean, that's just putting a limit on something that is limitless. I remember the great tour you gave when I visited. Oh, great tour. Yep. I need a raise. The man from the train. So, years ago, Library of Congress got a hold of us because they wanted all the files for the newspaper Villisca Review, because they were doing this project of putting small town print in PDF format so it doesn't disappear, and it's gone forever. It's on the Library of Congress website. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I get on there and you can keyword search, and it's going to bring up any article that's in their database from like 150 years. So me being a giant nerd on a Friday night is aliens, monsters. And then I'm sitting there, I run out of stuff. I'm like, axe murders. There were 20 years of axe murders, starting from Louisiana up through the Midwest, East Coast, West Coast. Sunday evenings, families in bed, train towns, weapons taken from the property, mirrors covered. It's the same scene over and over and over. And this book, The Man from the Train, really delves into that even further. In my opinion, I have no doubt that it's an early traveling serial killer that did this.
You think it's left also?
Yeah, it's too exact, and you can follow the trail, and a lot of these old papers would put horrific details right in the articles, and you can almost see how they're, I don't even want to say like getting better, but like honing their craft, so to speak. Each crime seems a little more intricate each time it goes along. I mean, to me, what happened here is not something a local would do. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was F.F. Jones on the corner that did it. But the book's pretty good. It's a pretty good read, and it's probably the most logical explanation that I've come across since.
My thoughts on Spirit Box or EVP phone apps. I'm not one that likes really the phone apps at all. People use them, that's fine. They want to use them. My problem with the phone apps is like your phone obviously knows where you're at. So if you're using a phone at Ashmore and you're asking certain questions, I can see where it may be able to go back and know exactly where you are and maybe answer questions or throw words out there that are affiliated with the building itself. So that's why I'm not big into phone apps. Spirit Box, I think people read too much into them at times. I think as long as you're just letting it tell the story and it fits without a fraction of a doubt, that's one thing. But just to sit there and pull it in and say, oh, it said the word book. Yeah, they've got books here, so it must be telling me everything I need to know. And that's where I think people get too tied up in myself.
And so I agree. A lot of the apps, somebody explained it to me once, it's with the GPS. If you're in a field, it's going to show that you're in a field. It's going to throw out trees, grass, whatever. However, I've went through all these apps and I tried them at the Axe House. I'm like, if it's stupid, I laugh, I'll delete it. Try another one. I found one called Spiritus, which is basically phonetic gibberish reversed. So just like, is it? No word data bank in it. So I was using it, and it was calling me the P word, and I'm like, what? And it's like my Beavis and Butthead brains here in this. I know this isn't really happening. And I kept saying it and saying it and saying it. And so I go, hey guys, my name's Johnny. Like, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. And it goes, oh, you snookerhead. Clear as day. It's like, snookerhead? Ooh, you got me. So I got a hold of the guy that made them. And I was like, I need to know how this works. Like, is there a word database in this that's just throwing, He goes, no, it's just like reverse gibberish. And I sent him that clip, and he ended up sending me free codes for every one of his apps. The Spirit Box, I've been in so many situations, events, where there's a spirit box sitting in the middle of the floor, and it goes blue. Somebody goes, it said, get out. No, it said, go upstairs. No, it said, get out. Everybody hears something different. So I think you really got to be careful with that stuff. I mean, you're just picking up blips of radio broadcasts that sometimes can fit into whatever narration you have in your head. You're going to hear what you want to hear. However, I've had a spirit box, the old SB7, at the Axe house, and it said F you. And the only radio station around here that comes in Villisca is Country Sunshine Radio out of Red Oak. It's like, that's definitely not on Country Sunshine Radio.
Yeah.
And so I think that we don't know. I think a lot of it could be false, but then there's that 1% that maybe, can you call that 100% evidence in either case? Probably not. I think video, EVPs, to me, that's video, EVPs, and photography. That's about as basic as you can get for real, legit things happening.
I know Mike was
But
using
the gear is.
Yeah, Mike had an SB7 at Ashmore one time. He was using it and asked if he knew his name because he'd been there quite a bit, and it said Mike. And he's like, "Well, that's cool. Do you know my last name?" And it said Couch. He's like, "I think you left that room."
It's time for a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I love all the gear. I'm a tech nerd. I love all the gadgets. The little motion. Like I was just looking at the motion detector music box that's out. I'm like, I really need that. I can't spend that much on one, but I really want one. They're fun. And I think all of them could possibly get evidence. Some of them couldn't. Who knows? We don't know anything. June 11th. Sounds good. You'll be right around the anniversary date. Yeah, June 10th. Yeah, that'll be a good time. That'll be a perfect date to come out. Yeah, I've done 10 of the anniversaries. A lot of them were super active. The 100-year anniversary, I'm sitting in the Axe house by myself. I'm like, text my buddy, if you don't hear from me by 8 a.m., get my preacher down here. Like nothing at all happened. So I'll make sure to put an EM pump and like blast a bunch of Slayer in the house all day to get them all primed up for you. I've heard probably about 12 different instances of a phone being manipulated in a voicemail coming from the house. That's interesting to me because that's not the first time I've heard that from somebody.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy they can do that.
I've heard it a lot. And honestly, the very first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, somebody in your group was messing with you, The second time I heard it, a voicemail was left on this girl's boyfriend's phone who didn't come with them. I'm like, that's interesting. And it caused all kinds of trouble, as you can imagine. This boy's like, who's this guy leaving me a voicemail from your phone? Which the more I thought about it, it's like, what an Axe house thing to do. Try and mess up everything around you.
Yep, mess up with a relationship that may be working. It's like, because it's going to be hard to explain. Like, a ghost did it. Honestly, a ghost did it. I didn't call you. A ghost did it. So,
right. Like if I was dating a girl and a guy left me a message from her phone, she's like, "It's a ghost." Even though I'm deep in this world, I'd be like, nah.
not buying it.
Nope.
I do know when Brad was here doing the John Wayne Gacy episode here at the theater, that two of the guys that worked with him, they both got a message from the other one's phone, and neither one of them called each other. So it was kind of weird that they got that, that type of situation there as well.
Yeah, it's interesting how they can manipulate technology, which is great. I think we got to keep trying new things, new technology. If it doesn't work, whatever, go on to the next. We got to keep evolving, otherwise we'll be, at some point back in the day, they kept evolving. Otherwise we'd still be doing seances. And So I did a seance once at a haunted location. I just wanted to see. I have no idea how to do a seance. I don't know what to do. I was looking it up on the internet and like, I think I need candles or something. But I didn't want to actually do the seance. I just wanted the ghost to see what we were doing, to maybe like, oh, I recognize what that is. They're trying to communicate with me. They're all in a circle holding hands around a table and there's a candle. Like, I get that. I know what they're doing. And we sat there for about 10 minutes. It's like holding hands and like, this is either going to be awesome or this is going to fail miserably. And it was within 10 minutes, stuff started happening, so kind of goes back to the fishing. Just try everything. If it's dumb, don't do it. And I've had stuff work at the Axe House that doesn't work at Malvern Manor. Pieces of gear that work great, but you go to another location, nothing.
Robert,
I always think it depends on the spirits.
Right.
Robert and I need to get booked out there sometime and get out there and spend a night out there. We'll have to find like a night where you can hang out with us and be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Then we can do our Lost Limbs Foundation poker run afterwards. Spend the weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
Here in Villisca.
Yeah. Just got to find me a 3-wheeler.
Yep.
I could throw the bike in the trailer and trailer run up that way.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nick can show up on his super fastest motorcycle in the world, doing a wheelie and like jump over the house on a ramp or something. Fireworks going off.
But you can ride on water also.
Have the Evel Knievel thing going on, jumping over the Axe House.
Right. He's like, I'm not just going to do this poker run. I'm going to ramp the Ax Murder House. And that is something Nick would like concoct in his mind and would be like, yep, you probably are. And you're probably going to land it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
We need to get Brad and Barry down here for that too. Let's get everybody down here. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, it'd be a good time.
That'd be awesome.
We can get Josh to come up, and you and Josh can break out the guitars and jam around, and
yeah, that'd be a good time. I'm all for that. Need a card to punch. So,
it's getting a little bit later.
I've joked about.
We don't want to tie you up all night either.
This is hour went by quick.
Mm-hmm. We're actually a little bit over.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah. It's been it's a fun night. It's fun talking.
So what do you got coming up, Johnny? Anything other than the usual Villisca? Anything else? Any big events coming up? Or anything you're doing?
I haven't booked anything yet. I had a bunch of stuff booked for 2020, and of course that was a dumpster fire for everybody. And I was so mad. One of them was in Europe. It's like, this paranormal stuff is finally taking me to Europe. Paid. Flights paid. Motel. This is awesome. And then 2020 happened, which was horrible for everybody. I'm not going to complain, we're all still here. So I just haven't booked anything this year. I thought I'm just going to stay at the Axe House and focus on that. I'd like to get some filming stuff in the works for this winter. It's kind of open. I think I'm going to have to take 2 weeks just to get on my Facebook and start replying to people. Oh, sorry, been busy. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll do this. So I need to get caught up a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll do something. Not the exciting answer you're looking for.
Hey, that's an answer. So it's kind of one of those calming ones. So that's kind of nice.
What do you got? What do you got coming up? I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try not to plan too much. if something happens, that's good.
Mike, you haven't asked him your usual question. You're failing on me here.
Yeah. I have to ask this before the night's over here. Like, so if you could go anywhere in the world and investigate, anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Probably Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe.
My ultimate would be the Amityville house. I mean, that place is like the Amityville series. Oh man, I would love to stay one night in that house by myself. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what you think about the Lutzes or anything, like Ronald DeFeo still killed his whole family in that house. So the likelihood of something happening is pretty high, you know. And I enjoy the Warrens. I don't know. That would be a good one. I'd like to go to Salem, some of those places. Loch Ness. Stonehenge. Because the very first thing that got me into the paranormal was the old Time Life Unexplained book series. And there's a commercial and UFOs, aliens, and a guy bends a wire coat hanger into the shape of an Egyptian symbol, points it at Stonehenge, and he gets like electrocuted and he goes flying off. And I was like, wow, I'm going to do that someday. So that's on the list. So we'll see if it works.
Yeah. Let us know how that one works out.
Right.
Hey, you might get out there. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, we're going to kind of wrap things up here pretty quick. Johnny, appreciate you coming out tonight and joining us. It's been a good time. I haven't talked to you since probably the Nick Groff event at the Ashmore Relay. So, have to solve that problem again here soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh,
yeah.
Ask me again, Mike, where I'd like to go.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Ashmore Estates.
There's a suck up. You know how to get there, so come on back.
Yeah.
We'll find that place that we stopped for lunch in the Mexican place on the way back, wherever it was. And
that was good. Yes, I forgot about that.
So, well, once again, Johnny, thanks for coming on tonight.
Yes.
Appreciate it. It's been great. We had a good time with this.
Yeah, it's been a fun night. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging longer with us too.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Oh, what happened?
I don't know. Johnny just left. So Johnny has left the building.
I was getting ready to say that. I don't know if like he just got disconnected or like what happened.
No, I didn't disconnect him. He just
if he just left or if he just got disconnected somehow, or I don't know.
Yeah, he got out of here. He got out of here quick. I guess he really wanted to leave.
He was just like, all right, guys.
Yeah, it's like, I'm leaving. Okay, bye.
Exactly. Okay, bye.
And I just want to pop that. Renee said something about the live shows. We actually do these every Tuesday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. So we're on here every Tuesday night. Next week we've got Michael O'Neill that'll be showing up, and Michael has his own radio show and a paranormal group, but then he's also the one that's hosting the Las Vegas Paranormal Unity out at Las Vegas in December. So it'd be a good show to listen to him, what he's got going on, and how he's putting that whole thing together.
Yeah. Yep. So make sure you guys tune in, follow the pages and all that good stuff. And again, thanks for helping us hit over like 10,000 on the Ashmore page. We appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you guys back here again next week.
Yep. So thanks for coming out, and we will talk to you next week.
See you guys. Thanks again.
Good night.
My name is Mike, and I'm the founder of the Lost Limbs Foundation. The Lost Limbs Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides assistance to amputee children in need of prosthetics. I started the charity after my own struggles after my leg being amputated just above the knee. Prosthetics cost thousands of dollars, and the average lifespan is 5 to 7 years on a prosthetic. Kids are constantly growing, so they'll go through multiple prosthetics throughout their life. This is the prosthetic leg that I use, and the cost was about $70,000. The Rhodes Hotel is in Atlanta, Indiana, and is owned and operated by the Lost Limbs Foundation. We are currently doing photo shoots, ghost hunts, and special events to help raise money for the charity. For more information, you can go to lostlimbsfoundation.org. With your help, we can help these kids one step at a time.